Don't know if you guys heard, but the average Gen X is blank. According to the CEO of BlackRock, you need $2.1 million to retire and lead the good life. According to the CEO of BlackRock, the average, I should say the median, just so we don't get it twisted, the median Gen X currently has a net worth of less than 150K. Folks, this means folks in their 50s who are looking at retirement age and somewhere in the mid 60s have less than 7% of the stated goal. And frankly, many Gen X have zero. What does this really mean? Well, again, folks, frankly, don't be average. One of the things that I think is always shocking when we read average American statistics is stop trying to be average. The average American is fat, broke, and miserable. Why the hell would you want to be an average American? I mean, seriously. Can we just admit the folks in one rental at a time have a larger goal, a bigger calling? I suspect if I look at the average Gen X, one rental at a time fan, follower, somebody executing, we would be significantly above this measly 150K. Why? Well, folks, at one rental at a time, we know several things. Building wealth is a journey. It takes a decade. We know that the first 5 years suck, but we do it anyway. Again, folks, I think a $2 million goal for folks in the Gen X who are buying assets, holding them long term, I think most of us will get there. And the ones that don't will be close. Getting wealthy has never changed for hundreds and hundreds of years. You need to save up some initial scratch, some initial paper. That is called discretionary income. That income then gets deployed ideally into assets that produce cash flow. And then, of course, the dreaded step 3, you need time. You need a decade. So to the CEO of BlackRock, I say, yes, the average Gen X is blank. But folks, we aren't average. We don't want to be average. We will never be average at one rental at a time. On top of that, we did get some earnings news, and this one's no bueno, not good. I have talked about Palo Alto Networks probably for 2 or 3 years. I have used Palo Alto Networks as that last man on the hill. Why do I say that? Well, for the last 5 years of my career, I sold or was around cybersecurity. On top of that, I sold business management software. I sold help desk software. I sold governance. I sold all kinds of software. And something you learn in the software game is the last budget to be cut, the last budget to be reduced is cybersecurity. So I have always looked at Palo Alto Networks and said, hey, how are they doing? Okay, got it. IT budgets are okay. Oh, nope, they're doing good. Okay, IT budgets are doing okay. However, it changed yesterday. Palo Alto Networks announced earnings that were fine, but they gave weak guidance, weak forecast. So I will say it again. If companies, businesses, governments are cutting back on cybersecurity, what does that mean for all the other software products? My opinion, not good. This could be a problem. So again, as with anything, this might be industry specific, but it also, in fairness, could be Palo Alto specific. I've done no research recently on Palo Alto Networks. For all I know, they had a dud of a software launch. But again, if I was invested in a lot of software companies, I'd be nervous. That is for sure. Let's congratulate some people for joining school. Yes, folks, the one and only Chester, who has been a part of the ORaaT family for years, signed up for school today. I do believe he was member number 600. So shout out Chester joining. We also had Human, David, Randy, and Beto. And oh, by the way, we also had Ashley Davis. Yes, the wonderful wife, very powerful folks of Cody Davis. The dynamic duo of Ashley and Cody are going to be around for years to come. It's going to be a personal pleasure of mine to watch them grow and watch their family grow. I look at Cody as one of those Gen Zs that could help me achieve my goal of creating something that outlives me by 50 years. So I'm so happy that he has chosen a wonderful human being and soul in Ashley. And just, this is how awesome our community is. Ashley told me on Sunday that she's going to join school. Most of you probably would expect me to offer her a free, user or free subscription. And you'd be right. I did offer that. And she declined. She said, no, I want to pay like everybody else. And I'm going to be active and join the ladies of ORaaT and all of that. So pretty awesome. Pretty awesome to have Ashley join as well. Folks, New York City. F around, find out. F around, find out. Good old Zoran Mandani just announced yesterday that he is going to raid the rainy day fund. He is going to raid the retiree health benefits reserve. And yes, folks, he is going to raise property taxes 9.5% for all real estate in New York City. Gotta love a communist. Runs on one thing, free, free, free. And then once he gets elected, charge, charge, charge. It happens every time, folks. Yes, Zoran Mandani will blame someone else, but you'd have to be an idiot not to see this coming. And oh, by the way, you might be thinking right now, who the heck cares? New York City, I rent. Well, guess what, folks? What do you think happens after your landlord's taxes go up 9.5%? Do you think your landlord's just going to eat that? Or do you think your rent might be going up? I'm just saying, you voted for this. You have 4 more years of this nonsense? You got what you got. Enjoy. Looks like we had a call from Bloomberg intelligence strategist Mike McGlone. Hopefully I'm saying that right. He says that Bitcoin, buckle up, Bitcoin maximalist, is going to 10 grand. He says, yes, the cycle low for this Bitcoin winter is going to be $10,000. If that happens, and who knows, that would be quite a fall from 126,000 down to 10,000. That would be roughly a 90% fall, give or take. And frankly, I would be losing money. That 10,000 number is less than I paid for my Bitcoin. In fact, you know what? I'll say this right now. If Bitcoin goes to 10,000, I will buy another one. How about that little dollar cost averaging? Again, that is pretty interesting. We did get durable goods orders this morning. What's going on with durable goods? Remember, just like inflation, we get 2 readings. There is durable goods headline, which was actually a negative number. But one of the things you have to do with durable goods, again, remember, durable goods are expected to last 5 years or longer. X transportation, so X airplanes. Airplanes obviously have the ability to distort durable goods. X transportation was actually positive and more than expected, up 0.9%. Expected up 0.3 and last 0.4. Why is durable goods important? Well, for me, a growing durable goods actually is an indicator that perhaps President Trump's tax incentives are working. What do I mean by that? Well, accelerated depreciation specifically. A lot of capital equipment, I suspect, will be bought early in the year as investments, and companies and businesses will write those off entirely, 100% to the bottom line. So I think we'll see a lot of capital investment, and that is something I'm looking forward to. Palantir, if you're a Palantir investor, look out. They have just dumped Colorado. They kicked Colorado to the curb and they're going to Florida. Yes, folks, the state of Colorado has now lost their most valuable company. In the dead of night, Palantir has left Colorado and moved to Florida. If you did not see that coming, you were not paying attention. You can't look at Alex Karp, I think that's the CEO's name, and not think he was going to Texas or Florida. I can only imagine he did not fit in Colorado. So congratulations, Colorado. You just ran away your most valuable company. On top of that, I've gotten a bunch of notes from folks that are in the state of Washington. Again, the state of Washington voted down income tax, but your government said, no, thanks. We're going to do it anyway. And you are going to see millionaires flee the state of Washington. Again, folks, capital goes where it is treated best. Just ask Gavin Newsom and his lovely 5% wealth tax, how that turned out. He is already losing hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue. He had billionaires willing and happy to pay 13.1%, and you kicked them out, you idiot. Yes, I'm not a fan of Gavin Newsom. Any guy who would sleep with your best friend's girlfriend or best friend's wife is a psychopath. And yes, Gavin Newsom did that. And psychopath. Resi Club out with an interesting point talking about housing from 1975 to today. The U.S. average home price appreciation was 1,137%. Yes, folks, 1,137% was the average home price appreciation since 1975. But what's the peak? What's the worst? Well, the worst, apparently, again, I'm just quoting Lance Lambert from Resi Club. Youngstown, Ohio, only up 483%. Yes, up 483% since 1975. And the winner is San Francisco, California, up 2,293%. Pretty wild to see the extremes of different cities. And again, you could probably go back and look at different cities and ask what happened. Well, the Silicon Valley was born, and that's the 2,293. And I don't know anything about Youngstown, Ohio, but I'm guessing it was a manufacturing hub that caught on hard times. Wild guess. Hopefully I'm right, but that's what can happen. And finally, folks, we will cover some Fed speak as we wrap up the daily financial news. Goolsbee says, I want to see evidence that inflation is headed back to 2%, to which I say, come on, dude, you're smarter than that. Go look at Trueflation. We are already there once you correct for shelter. I did see that Goolsbee also gave a number to R-star or neutral rate. He said, I see it as 3% roughly. I actually agree. I agree that it's around 3% given the data at hand. Fed President Barr said the base case is that AI is doing positive things to the economy. And Barr also said, I still see significant risk inflation to stay over 2%. Again, I can't believe Fed presidents are saying this because they all know. They all know. They're extremely smart people in economics. They all know that inflation's below 2% when corrected for shelter. And then finally, folks, Fed President Daly, we have 75 basis points to go to get roughly to neutral. I agree with that. Again, I think it's about 3%. Businesses are seeing a buyer's market for labor. What the heck does that mean? Well, that means disinflation. If businesses are seeing buying power for labor, it means they can offer less money. That is disinflationary and actually might be deflationary. The no hire, no fire economy is actually a vulnerable economy, to which I agree with. This means that at any time, a recession or external shock could come, and we would be in a lot of trouble. And then finally, folks, I had an interview yesterday with an ORaaT individual from Vegas. He goes by MJ. Yes, folks, not Michael Jackson, not Michael Jordan, but our personal MJ. And that video will go live today, but something at the end of that discussion caught my attention. MJ talked about our school community And MJ was a member of our school community, but stopped. Why did MJ stop? He stopped because, Michael, you do all of these great sessions in school and then you post them on YouTube. I want exclusivity. I want uniqueness. I'm paying for that. I don't want you to create content for us and then post it somewhere else. To which I say, that is what we are doing now. That amazing 2-day event that we just did in Vegas is only available in school, except for one session. I did post the award session because it wasn't about me. It was about the community and all the amazing people. That will be the only video that goes on YouTube. If you want to see the 2-hour session with Pace Morby, if you want to see the hour discussion with Jason Hartman, you want to hear from Andrea and her amazing story and struggle of leaving Venezuela, if you want to hear from Leah, if you want to hear from Ryan, and the list goes on and on and on, you must join school. It will not go on YouTube. On top of that, we will be doing more and more inside school just for our school members. So MJ, thank you for the feedback. Thank you for just telling me the truth. And I hope you enjoy the conversation with MJ that comes out later today. So again, folks, join school, 67 pennies a day. We are going to be doing more and more unique stuff. And of course, don't forget to check out Steadily, Landlord Insurance. They've personally saved Olivia and I over $20,000. You heard the story about how they helped me on 9 residential properties a few weeks ago. Again, they do not always help. They're about 60 to 65%, but hey, I will take it. It doesn't take very long to get a quote. So folks, take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day. And I hear Mark, the financial firefighter, is going live right now to talk about his experience at ORaaT with some other members. So stay tuned for that. I think Mark, the financial firefighters channel, will be spinning up right now to go live. So have fun, take care, and we will talk tomorrow. Later.